Welcome to the Duke Long Commercial Real Estate with a Little Attitude podcast. Thank you for listening.
And welcome again today to another Duke Long Commercial Real Estate with Attitude podcast. And today I have my good friend Wes Snow from Ascendix. And Wes, for the benefit of those who have not met you and have not talked to you, why don't you introduce yourself again and your company?
Thanks, Duke, and it's a pleasure always getting to chat with you. I really appreciate the friendship and the partnership. So, as a formal introduction for those who have not yet met me, I'm Wes Snow. I'm the CEO of Ascendix Technologies. Over the past 15 years, Ascendix has been 100% focused on the delivery of both professional services and product delivery in the commercial real estate space. Simply put, we're a one-stop shop for delivering not just commercial real estate products, but consulting services to maximize the leveraging of technology. We founded Ascendix Technologies back in 1996 as a CRM consulting services, aligning ourselves with the best CRM products of the day. Decided about 10 years in that to really deliver higher levels of value, we needed to specialize, and chose the commercial real estate space as that industry and began to build product on the Microsoft Dynamics CRM platform, combining our professional services delivery capabilities with a very specialized commercial real estate version of CRM. We followed that investment up with a product on the Salesforce.com platform, and today have available the Ascendix CRE solution on both of those platforms, continuing to invest in each, as well as our professional services delivery capabilities, providing the ability to objectively assess the needs of our customers and align them with the most appropriate technology.
So Wes, when we first met, we've had many discussions about commercial real estate and commercial real estate CRM solutions and Ascendix in general. And you've continued, that I've seen, to invest in tools for commercial real estate, for the commercial real estate broker. And I would like to hear a little bit more about what you guys are putting out.
Yeah, thanks, Duke. You're exactly right there. While we started with a singular focus from a product perspective in the CRE space, that being on the CRM aspect, interactions with clients and prospects and heck, even influencers like you has led to an evolution of the products and services that comprise our ever-growing portfolio. Ascendix, the flagship product, as you mentioned, Ascendix CRE is the core of what we do. As mentioned earlier, this product is built on both Salesforce.com and Microsoft Dynamics. Long ago, we made the strategic decision to build our offerings on top of existing CRM platforms to leverage the innovation and infrastructure that these companies have evolved over the course of time, allowing us to focus on more commercial real estate features and functionality. One real benefit to having made this decision is the ability for us to deliver a very usable, out-of-the-box experience for the broker, but with the flexibility to allow the end user to make changes to reflect their personality and specific business requirements. Which leads me to another dimension to our offerings. As I mentioned earlier, our CRM consulting services. We've had 23 years of CRM consulting experience in-house that can be used to help with simple startup implementations for simple imports and configurations to more expansive and involved integrated implementations. And while the product is suitable for companies of all sizes, the pricing we've established, which starts, by the way, at $49 per user a month, is quite affordable for the smallest of shops.
So in the past, Wes, we've covered, we kind of introduced the Ascendix product that you had designed for land. And I understand you've continued to evolve that solution and other solutions to support the user groups in commercial real estate. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Yeah, so as we started having these interactions with brokers, invariably we started having these derivative use cases that people were approaching us with. And as you mentioned here, about 18, 24 months ago, we had some land brokers that were part of a larger brokerage approach us and say, hey, Wes, I see you've got this commercial real estate application here, and there's office, industrial, retail, multifamily, but what about something that's catered and tailored specifically for land? Is that something you could do? And kind of thought about it and said, it really wouldn't take that much energy for us to take our core platform and evolve it into a streamlined use case for land brokers. And that began the journey of other observations there. And as you can see here, while we focused on tenant rep, landlord rep, and investment sales for kind of this multiple faceted asset class, we started seeing other use cases, land brokerage being one, but also property management, where people are managing work orders against properties and things of this nature for tenants, but also capital markets, where they're tracking capital sources and really being a market maker for those who need funding to do a transaction in the commercial real estate space, and matching them up with people who are doing the actual sourcing of that capital. So it's been a really interesting ride for us, and it only underscores, moreover, the flexibility of the platform that we have with Salesforce and Dynamics.
Well, and one of the things you mentioned was some kind of white glove concierge experience. And I was extremely interested in that. You know, as personally, I struggle kind of getting data into my applications. Can you kind of expand on what that is a little bit?
Yeah, despite the attention to detail and trying to make these tools easy, and I think we've done a great job with that, the reality is that there are situations where it's really tough for a broker to do the right thing, and that is enter in data into their applications, in this case, CRM applications. And so understanding that reality, we've tried to close the last mile, if you will, and reduce the excuses, if you will, for not getting data into the system, and created what we call our white glove concierge service, where ultimately allowing you to keep focused on driving business, but not at the expense of having data sitting there on index cards and business cards and notepads, but actually having it brought in and committed to the CRM system. So white glove service has really been great for those who have struggled with the realities of getting the data in, but always appreciating the value of a CRM system.
So one of the things that I know, you know, obviously Salesforce is kind of one of the absolute front runners in the CRM space. And it sounds like you kind of made more investments on that platform than just your Ascendix product. Can you kind of talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, so we started building Ascendix CRE on Salesforce, and it was abundantly clear to us as we continued down that journey that there was an opportunity for us to, I'll call it, horizontalize some of the aspects of our Ascendix CRE product, specifically around searching for data. As you can appreciate, you know, when you've got a CRM tool that's built specifically for commercial real estate, where you're tracking prospective tenants, investors, brokers, owners, but in addition, properties, listings, leases, sale comps, there's a great deal of data there. And if you don't have really easy to use searching facilities, you can get lost. And so we developed this searching component on this Salesforce platform, originally baked inside of Ascendix CRE, but now sold as a separate module that allows for anybody that is subscribing to Salesforce to take benefit of this tool called Ascendix Search. It's available out on the App Exchange and downloadable quickly into anybody's Salesforce org. And so essentially what it does, as you can see on the screen here, introduces in a commercial real estate context the idea of a map, but combined with the map are just some query by example forms, allowing you to quickly go in there without being some juggernaut in SQL programming to quickly drill in and mine your data. For instance, a great example I always give is I'd like to look at all the contacts that are related to companies that have leases that are going to expire in the next 18 months, but in a specific geography. That which can be complex and involved, we've actually brought into a very intuitive interface that allows even the lowest common denominator broker to go in there and provide that and conduct that search with relative ease. So that's the Ascendix search tool.
And you and I in the past have talked about a publication tool, and it sounds like a great way to kind of leverage automation and remove some of the manual things that are around creating reports for clients. Can you talk to that subject a little bit more?
Yeah, so the CRM tools that we've aligned with, they do have reporting tools and to, I guess, lesser extent, publication tools. But as we've talked to brokers, there's just this continued interest and demand for customer-facing, outward-facing reports and such. And reality is the level of detail and the specificity of those, they were outpacing the ability for us to accommodate those with the core products that we've aligned with. And so we've invested in a product called Composer that allows for the broker to leverage the data that's contained inside of Ascendix CRE, as mentioned earlier, the properties, the images related to those properties, the activities related to listings, and be able to generate very tangible and efficient tool reports, like, for instance, a listing activity report for an owner. They call in and want to know, hey, what have you done for me lately? What kind of marketing activities have you conducted? What's the lead flow look like, the interest level, and do we have any deals in the hopper here? To property tour reports on the tenant rep side, being able to generate tour books. Today, spend better part of an afternoon putting together with a tool outside of your CRM system. Why not leverage all that data and introduce some efficiency to getting those outputs? And so it's about really answering the question with CRM, what's in it for me, for the broker? And that, if not answered, is ultimately going to be a challenge in terms of adoption. And that today, we find that a lot of brokers look at these CRM tools as one-way information flow. Put a lot of data in, don't get a lot of data out of it, not a lot of value out of it. And so what we're trying to do is we're sustaining this constant journey of what's in it for me and giving back to the brokers so that we answer that question very quickly and easily. If you put a little data in, look at all the value that you get out. And one of those is simply just automating some of these reports with our tool called Composer.
Yeah, and you've mentioned that you put some investments into the website integration with your CRM system, and that sounds pretty obvious and it sounds interesting, but it also sounds expensive at the same time.
Yeah. So we had a couple of people, about 20, well, not a couple, had a handful of people come to us and asked, I get it, I see what you're doing with the CRM system, and it makes all the sense in the world to have your properties and the listings and all that inside of the CRM system. But if I'm going to take the time to put all that really rich information into the CRM system, I'd like to leverage it more than one time and maybe have it integrated with the website. And so we started investigating that, Duke, and found that, gosh, it was so cost prohibitive to do this from scratch in what I like to call a bespoke integration. Just a lot of technical conversations, a lot of business rules, and we felt like we were having to reinvent the wheel, and nobody was really able to financially justify that kind of an integration. So we stepped back and said, what if we were to already take care of all of the integration and just simply introduce a portal, if you will, into an existing website? And we've ultimately finalized that, and we now have a new product called our property listing portal that allows us to introduce a web part, for lack of a better word, that when inserted into your website allows for the broker or whomever on the CRM side to go in there and enter in a new listing, and with the simple checkbox of a publish to web, it immediately makes that listing available to the public-facing website. And moreover, that same site has a web form in it, such that if somebody were to go in and visit that particular page and had an interest in getting more information about it, they would simply fill out the form and hit the enter button, and that particular information would go already into the CRM system automatically as a new inquiry, allowing the inside broker or whomever the recipient of that lead is to work it, perhaps even have automated processes in place where there's a scheduled follow-up phone call or a letter or an email that's gets generated. And so it's just this hyper efficiency and automation that can occur when you integrate this internal CRM system with an external website. In short, you just think about it. I enter in a new listing, property information automatically gets propagated to the website, automatically starts catching new leads that then automatically get put into my CRM system, that automatically get processed for future follow-up. A lot of automating going there, but that's the value prop here of that two-way information flow. Put a little bit of information in and get a lot of value out. So that's a really exciting evolution and investment we've made here recently.
Well, and every time I talk to you, there's always something new, something different. You're ever evolving, which obviously is what people need to do with their products. So you got to tell me if there's any new and interesting other new tools or investments that I don't know about that everyone should know about.
Yeah, so this is something we call MarketSpace that I want to talk with you about today. And it's not yet released, but continuing with the theme of maximizing the leverage of the data contained within the Ascendix CRE database, we're investing in this this tool, which when integrated with your CRM system allows the end user to spin up dynamic deal rooms, collaboration rooms, and allow you to interact with your investors or tenants in what we call these private forums, where you can exchange documents, confidentiality agreements, offering memorandums, and even chat with them and interact with them in ways that in the past would have been relegated to phone calls that aren't easily captured or email threads that aren't easily harnessed, and have all that in one location and really change the way in which you're interacting with your constituents there, and increase the professionalism and reduce the friction of doing business. And so be on the lookout in the future for this offering we're going to call MarketSpace, that really does expand our portfolio and extend the value of that data that you're harnessing inside of your CRM system to be shared with those external constituents. And I think that's the real theme that's going on here, is that data inside your CRM system is not just for you and your benefit, but also those that you do business with should benefit from it as well. And if you can solve for both of those constituencies, then the value proposition of a CRM system completely changes and increases in volume. So thanks for asking about that. We're really excited about it. Don't have a definitive timeline, but we want to make sure we get it right before we put it out there. But that is coming soon.
You know, Wes, I think that a lot of people think that a CRM is just, I'm going to put my contacts in, I'm going to do X. And it's obviously far, far more than that. And I think some of the people, and I've said this 1,000 times, I can't imagine why people don't use a CRM, especially for commercial real estate. And you guys seem to keep evolving and evolving and evolving. And it's amazing to me how you come up with this stuff every time. So I really appreciate you showing this stuff out today. And it's been great talking to you.
Yeah, thanks, Duke. Appreciate the platform and the time and the friendship. Let's do it again soon.
All right, let's do it.
All right, thanks.